Hi everyone, it's Bridget from Dark Fairy Tales, and I have talked about for months that I wanted to start a YouTube channel and do some Bookstagram tips and tricks. While I am no expert, I have had some success, I feel, in the Bookstagram community, and I thought that it would be good to share some of my knowledge with all of you. So today, this will be a series of videos, so I'm not going to try and cover everything today because that would just be ridiculous and take forever. So today we are going to talk about starting your Bookstagram, props you can use, what type of camera you could use, lighting, and backgrounds. So let's get into it. First up, starting your Bookstagram account. Honestly, if you've been thinking about it, just do it. Take the plunge. The community is awesome. It's so much fun. It's fairly easy and you meet lots of people, discover lots of books. So one tip I would maybe have when you're starting your account is picking a name. Try to do something that's bookish and cute if you can, but a lot of those are already taken. So, I mean, Dark Fairy Tales is not bookish, so mine came from the blog I was a reviewer for, so that's how I got my name. But if you can pick a cute, bookish name that's not too confusing, it doesn't have a bunch of underscores, although mine has an underscore in it. But if you can use something that's not too confusing, that's memorable, then people can remember it when they're typing it in to look for your name. So that's the one tip on starting your Bookstagram. Next, we're going to talk about props you can use. Honestly, props can get very expensive, I'm not gonna lie. So my number one tip is to use things around the house that you probably already have. For instance, this is a random piece of home decor I had that I've used in multiple pictures. Example! Clocks are another great piece of home decor that you can use, and I don't know anyone that probably doesn't own some kind of clock. And example, I've used it in multiple pictures and they're gorgeous. I have lots of different clocks too. Candlesticks. I've recently discovered how much I love candlesticks in pictures. Examples. If you have candlesticks, use them. Scarves. Pretty much all of us have scarves, right? Unless you live in a very tropical place, which maybe you do. I don't. I live in cold Idaho, so I had lots of pretty scarves. But I use these all the time in pictures, as you can tell here. And they make a wonderful prop that a lot of people already have. And you can even use these as backdrops too, if you have like a more plain scarf, or you can even use patterned scarves as a backdrop if you want to. Flowers. Yes. I love using flowers. If you follow me, you will know this. I get my flowers at all different places. This one came from the dollar store. I'll talk a little bit more about the dollar store in a minute here, but seriously, the dollar store is like my best friend. These ones came from Hobby Lobby, Walmart, wherever, Family Dollar. There's so many different places that I will purchase flowers. I have quite a stack of flowers now on pretty much every color. But honestly, just pick some of your favorites. And like I said, the dollar store, they're super inexpensive. You can get a bunch of different variety and they look great. Candles are another huge prop you can use. This one is from Target. It was only a couple of dollars, but you can get candles from Family Dollar, you can get them from the dollar store, you can get them from anywhere. Bath and Body Works, if you have candles in your house, you can use them, which most people in general have candles in their house, so you can use those as props. There are, as you can see, lots of lovely bookish candles. Some of my favorite places are Wick and Fable or A Quart of Candles. They have very pretty candles. The thing about bookish candles is they are they're not pricey, but they cost some money in an investment. Personally, I feel like they are worth it. If you're going to invest in props, I would personally invest in candles because I feel like they add so much to pictures. But like I said, if you can't afford to get bookish candles right off, just use other candles that you already have or ones from around the house. Another great thing to use is mugs. My mugs mostly are from Society 6, but once again, they can add up. You can use any mug. It doesn't have to be a bookish mug. It can be a mug you already have sitting in your cupboard. Seriously, when I first started, I didn't own any of these bookish mugs. It's not required for it to be bookish for it to look good. One more trick for getting props is to do thrift shopping. Go to the Goodwill, go to the DI, go to the hand-me-down store that has a lot of junk, per se. I got this teapot, super cute teapot, $3. It's really nice at, like, seriously a hole-in-the-wall store here in town. But you can find things like that at places for really inexpensive. So make sure that if you're on a budget, to thrift shop. Next, backdrops. Now, I generally use white beadboard. I have this because we put beadboard up in my house and it was extra that was left over, so I didn't have to spend anything for it. If you don't have the funds to get a piece of beadboard, because it can be expensive for a big old piece of beadboard, use white poster board. It's like 50 cents at the dollar store. No lie. When I first started Bookstagram, that's what I used, was 50-cent poster board, and I got black and white, and I used it for like 6 or 7 months, maybe even longer than that. So backgrounds are super inexpensive and they look super great and super professional. You don't need something expensive to make your picture look good. Another thing you can use from around the house is blankets. I use this blanket, or sheets. I've used both as backdrops before, and they look great. It adds texture because it's got the design and pattern in. That's another thing you can use, is any kind of fabric that you may have around the house. It really doesn't have to be expensive if you don't want it to be. If you have a little bit of extra funds, these vinyl backdrops, this one's from Mini Backdrop, can be super, super nice. They do add a lot of flair and a lot of personality to your pictures. So sometimes it's worth, I think it's $12 to buy these. So really not a ton of money, but they do add a lot of character to your pictures. And I think when you can get a unique background that not a lot of people have, it makes your account stick out more, which can be really important when it comes to being different and noticeable. Next is camera. Okay, you guys, I legit used my iPhone 6, 7, I have a 7 now, but it was a 6, for a year and a half before I finally broke down and bought a camera, which I am actually filming this on right now, so I cannot show you. But really, my pictures, everyone always asks me, what camera do you use? My iPhone. Now, I did get a Canon T6 Rebel, so I think that's what it's called, whatever, I'm not sure exactly, but I do like that for lighting purposes because it just takes better pictures, clearer pictures, and it is better. I'm not gonna lie, it is better to have an actual camera, but my camera also was quite a bit of money. So if you don't have that money, or you don't already have a good camera, your iPhone or your phone, whatever type of phone you have, honestly, it works just fine. You don't need to spend and dump a lot of money into something when what you probably already have is gonna work. Next, lighting. The best possible lighting you can get is natural light. Now, for a lot of people, natural light is very, very hard to get just due to the fact that we have jobs, we have lives, and we can't always have a great spot in our house or wherever we take pictures that has really good natural light. I personally do have a good spot. I have a screen door at the back of my house that always has light shining in it. So that is actually where I take a lot of my pictures. But I have started trying to take a lot of them at night, and actually this room that we're in right now has no windows. It is my library, but it is in the basement with no natural light that comes into this room. So when I was taking selfies, I didn't really like how it wasn't bright enough. I mean, it looked okay, but I didn't love it. So I ended up getting a softbox for about $40 on Amazon, and seriously, it's the best purchase ever. It's actually, if you can tell right now, I'm using it right now. It's actually set up right there, and that's why it's so bright in this room. And I can take pictures at night. I can take pictures basically wherever I want, and it adds great light. So if you have the funds to get a softbox, I would highly, highly recommend getting one, just because they're super nice and just make it easier and more convenient to take pictures whenever you want. So that's everything for this video. I do want to end with one more tip. When you start your Bookstagram, just do it for the fun of it. This isn't supposed to be stressful. It isn't supposed to, you're not supposed to worry about likes. You're not supposed to worry about followers, which I will talk about that in another video on how to gain followers and things like that. But just have fun. If you love your pictures, others are going to love your pictures too. Don't stress. I mean, why join a community and stress about and just add more stress to your life? We already have enough stresses. So just enjoy yourself and have fun with Bookstagram. That's my number one piece of advice to anybody that wants to join the community. My next video, I am planning on answering some of my most commonly asked Bookstagram questions. It might be 2 videos because I have quite a list of things I want to answer. So keep your eye out for that, and thanks for watching.